When you have a taste for the holidays, you want a soft drink that tastes like the holidays. You want the crisp, clean choice that's everyone's favorite icebreaker. 7-Up, Beyond Cola. Because you never know who might drop in.
Stop by the Winter Wonderland for holiday savings on all 7-Up products. And make the season bright. They're asleep.
Finally. Just going to load this CD. They're going to love this. Loading CD-ROM into Windows.
Type device equals C:\DOS.
Wait. Okay. Where do I find that?
Where do you find what? Type edit A:\\.
Edit a colon?
No, edit A:\. A:\.
A colon.
The letter A.
You do not have enough conventional memory free. There are 27 callers ahead of us.
If you're looking for a multimedia computer that actually works,
Maybe we got the wrong installation program.
Maybe we got the wrong computer.
there's really only one way to go.
Did you save the receipt?
Wouldn't it be great if you could get everybody's Christmas gift at the same place? Maybe you can. I'll let you in on a little secret. The Holiday Gift Center at Blockbuster. After all, everybody has a favorite movie. And who has more favorites than Blockbuster? Besides having more movies to rent, they also have more movies to give. Oh, plus they have all kinds of video games for the kids. So take care of everybody on your list. Make it a Blockbuster holiday.
What if he's hungry? Who won't be hungry? Every other kid in the world's gonna feed him. Okay.
May your season be magical. Make it a Blockbuster holiday.
Silver bells, silver bells, silver bells, silver bells.
Look what's popping up at Burger King. Toy Story puppets from Disney's latest adventure movie, now in theaters. Get all 4 high-quality puppets for your kids. $1.99 each with any great tasting value meal.
Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Burger King has a great gift idea for the holidays that'll go a long distance. No, not another necktie for Dad. Or a necklace for Mom. Get up to 15 minutes of free crystal clear communication from U.S. Sprint when you buy a $5 book of Burger King gift certificates. Give the certificates to friends for great tasting Burger King food and use the free long distance to call anyone you like. So get fiber optic communication and ring in the holidays with Burger King. For great gift ideas, at Burger King, sometimes you've got to break the rules.
As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Nothing melts away the cold like a delicious hot bowl of Campbell's soup.
Let it snow, let it snow.
Still no snow, huh? I bet I can make it snow. Have you had hot cocoa?
No.
Well, no wonder. Come on.
Hey guys. Wow! Look! Snow!
Something magic always happens with Carnation Hot Cocoa.
Children, today we'll be reading the best Christmas ever. Our story begins with
Christmas Crunch. Crunchy sweet berry stars, stockings, trees.
And these, my new Jingle Bell Rocks. Just pour some in and stir it till your milk turns red.
Rockin' red.
It's a tasty part of a balanced holiday breakfast.
This crunch is only here for Christmas, and that's one reason it's
The best Christmas ever.
Whoa. Dad?
Just a second, Tiger.
Dad? Dad! It's Santa Claus!
Hey, so it is. It's great.
Santa can. Let's go. Bring it home for the holidays.
Santa packs are coming, Santa packs are coming, Santa packs are coming, Santa packs are coming to your town. Watch out, look around, cause we're coming to town. To your town. Santa packs are coming, Santa packs are coming. Always got to come something magic in the night. Can you see it shining bright?
New Coca-Cola Santa Packs, the only real holiday refreshment. Look for this display at your store.
Holiday refreshments like we drink. Unwrap a Santa pack, it's always a real thing. Always Coca-Cola. Watch out, look around, we're coming.
Cookie crisp, Merry Cookie Crisp. Little cookies like the chips that you can't resist. Cookie, crook, and chip in a one-dog open sleigh. Crashing through the snow, laughing all the way. Bells on top tree.
They're not very bright, but being that it's Christmas time, I'll give them something nice. Cookie Crisp is the merry part of this complete breakfast.
Now there's a Marvel Spider-Man trading card, free inside specially marked boxes of Cookie Crisp.
What makes everything so Christmas-making? Christmas-making, oh good. Who makes the one without rich creamy taste? Who makes the one?
Home for the holidays with Domino's Pizza's Season's Greetings Special. Now get a medium pepperoni pizza for just $2.99 with your favorite large pizza at the regular price.
Nobody knows.
Ho, ho!
How you like pizza at home?
Lego my ego.
No, Lego my ego.
No, that's a Lego.
You always eat the cookies, so Lego my ego. The card says Santa.
Pebbles from Energizer.
It's rich, sweet, and absolutely nuts. It only comes but once a year. The Jubilee Roll from Friendly. Just order any of our classic burgers. And we'll make you a Jubilee Sundae. Free. Or buy a whole Jubilee Roll and enjoy our Nutcracker Suite at home.
Season's greetings in our souls. Yummy fruity pebbles in our bowls. Oh, here comes you know who. Yabba dabba fruit, delicious stew. Oh, I'm hungry. Santa, my pebbles. Your pebbles? 'Tis the season to be sharing, Fred. Happy holidays, pal.
Oh, Fred.
Fruity and Cocoa Pebble cereals, part of this nutritious breakfast.
Welcome, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. It's good to see you guys. Yeah. Gonna address a couple things. I just don't understand. It's just really funny how people are just so hell-bent on holding on to something and they just won't let it go, you know. And okay, when the argument is whether it's an open case or whether it's a closed case, hair splitting, absolute hair splitting, and I'm going to explain why. But I'm gonna go over real quick. I'm just gonna knock out this video on this dude. Because I woke up and I saw that Heels in the Air did a video, very informative, and I emailed her, asked her for a link. I'm gonna share this link and I'm gonna go over this stuff too. I'm going to go over this stuff too. But I'm going to share the link in chat so that people know that I didn't alter it or anything like this. This is an official link to the Sheriff's Department. And you can check that out for yourself. And I'm going to go over that in just a bit. But right now, I'm going to go over this dude's video, which is pretty ridiculous.
It's rejecting, and he was basically given another chance to have the operation again. and he has turned it down. This little boy has decided that he
When you live with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, your day can be full of
heart transplant failed. It's rejected.
Sorry about that. I was putting my earbuds in and it skipped to the back of video.
And he was basically given another chance to have the operation again, and he has turned it down. This little boy has decided that he had his chance and he wants somebody else to have their chance.
Now, you see what he's doing here? Why in the same video? Okay, this is an edited video. It's not a live stream. It's not off the fly like I do. This is a planned, edited video, and I believe there's motive behind everything. Okay, there's clearly motive behind everything, and so what he's doing here is this is very strategic. He's trying to basically he's fluffing his audience. He's grooming them, for lack of a better term. What he's doing is he's tugging at their heartstrings to get their attention, so everybody goes, oh my God, Harsh Reality has such a big heart, so that he could feed you the line of bullshit that follows, that is completely unrelated to what he's talking about here. It's very interesting tactic, but sorry, dude.
And his one wish was that he would receive a silver play button from YouTube. And
okay, buddy.
A gold.
Why not? Don't you
think
think this kid, if he's so special, if he's so special to you, don't you think that this kid deserves his own video? Don't you think that this person who all he wanted for Christmas was a silver play button from YouTube, don't you think that merits his own video, his own tribute and attention? Interesting.
Creators you watch, share it to every single person you can. Share it. Make sure you watch this video all the way through, please. I know there's going to be some bits that are hard to watch, but watch all the way through because it helps it on the algorithm. It helps it push it out to more people will see it, and ultimately they'll get
tragedy pimping at its best, folks. Tragedy pimping at its best. I realize it's going to be hard to watch, folks, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to feed you this shit so that when I feed you the other shit, your heart's open and you see me as this crusader for the weak, and I fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Shut the fuck up.
They'll get this message, but let's get this boy, this absolute hero, the gold play button that he so rightly deserves. And that is Cracking the Box. There'll be a link in description that will link you to this video here, which is the actual video of a message that was sent.
And I agree. Get Cracking the Box. Subscribe to Cracking the Box. That's great.
None other than Captain Jack Sparrow himself. And like I say, I'll put the link in the video. Click it, follow it, do it, share it, do your due diligence, and share it to everybody who is going to do this boy proud. But for now, we have to talk about something that's a little bit less heroic. Now,
Jeanette Rebel, one of my favorite limeys. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, D. Glarer, and everybody. Lots of health. Nazidravi. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, there's been some drama around the Kiely Rodni.
Now that I've felt you up, now I'm going to ease my way in.
Case. And look, Mr. Ride Up Church, he's come back into the fray. And, he's made some comments about some people, me included. The fact that I had said, I'm
not going to do another video about Kiely Rodni.
And then I did.
Yeah, and so, but he's got 3 million subscribers, and I really want to crawl deep into his arsehole, so that he gets, and I get in his good graces, and I'm going to use this video to get into his good graces.
And look, what I did say was I wouldn't do anything about Kiely Rodni again. Well, there was nothing to talk about. You know, I'd be looking at it in the background, and if
Just said it himself, nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about.
Came up, and obviously I would come and I would bring it to you guys. And there was stuff that came up. There was stuff that came up that was worth talking about. And then we have this latest sort of spat, if you like, between the Glairer and Ryan Upchurch. And what the Glairer tried to do was prove that Ryan shouldn't be speaking about the Kiely Rodni case, when in fact what he did was prove how important it is for the likes of Ryan, even though we don't.
Because it's so important, people. It's so important. Since my channel is so fact-driven, people, it's so important for somebody like Ryan Upchurch with 3 million subs, somebody whose graces that I'm so desperate to get good in. So important for somebody like Ryan Upchurch to talk about this case and disrespect the memory of this poor girl, saying that she never existed. Of course, he doesn't say that, but she never existed, and accusing random YouTubers of conspiring her murder. So it's very important that somebody like Ryan Upchurch talks about this case.
We don't agree with some of the statements that he's made. And, you know, one statement in particular that caused me some upset with someone who I absolutely do respect, because I feel that Ryan has the resources and the heart to help in
the resources. And by resources, I mean lethal amounts of Adderall.
Case against people like the Glairer, because ultimately it's people like the Glairer. And I will just say, look, the Glairer is the only person who's got worse lighting in his videos than me. Every time I've tried to watch his videos, it's like I'm opening the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
So clever.
That motherfucker burns. So, you know, whether that's a marketing thing, maybe that's how the channel's supposed to be, hence the name. If so, well done.
Wow, that was really clever. I'm sorry that my lighting, fat Austin Powers, isn't set up to render women unconscious so that I can seduce them. You know he's got a penis pump somewhere in his background there, just like in a drawer. You know he's got a penis pump somewhere back there. Just saying. I wonder if his bed back there spins.
You've nailed it. But I listened to what he was trying to do with Ryan. He was saying, look, the case is closed, buddy. The case is closed. It's done. You're the only one talking about it. And I think to myself, how many people is the Glairer?
And I think to myself, well, now that Ryan's talking about it, it's given me an opportunity, an out, if you will, and or actually an in to discuss it again and pimp this tragedy some more and make more money off of it. Just a little bit, you know. Thanks, Ryan, for coming back out so that I have an excuse to continue talking about this case and making money off of it.
Glairer telling that the Kiely Rodni case is closed when it's not. Now, what we see happen a lot of the time in the true crime niche is people imagine these stories of these victims are like a book, and it's a 1,000-page book, and people will read 10 pages of it, and they won't even read that properly, and then they will draw the conclusion of what the whole book contains. And then what they'll do is the people who have read all the 1,000 pages and they've read them over and over and over and over again, and they've looked at them, they've put a magnifying glass to them, and they've pulled them apart and they've questioned everything.
Okay, so what page was it? What page in those 1,000 pages in this analogy of the Kiely Rodni case that you're using? What page was it where Kiely wasn't a real person? What page was it where YouTubers got together and conspired to murder her with no motive at all whatsoever. What page was that? So this is this guy just like pitching tent in Ryan Upchurch's ass. Like, this is what blows my mind about YouTube. I see this all the time. Soon as somebody with a bunch of subs like that, people see dollar signs, they say, I want to be his friend. I want to be his buddy. So I'm going to do everything I can to win his heart. Like, no, I know Lana lately. Like, he totally trash talked him in one of the videos. He was trash talking me. It was funny. And this guy just doesn't care because all he sees is a sub count. This is what people like this do. They don't care about justice. They don't care about victims. They don't care about anything except, building their own brand. That's all they care about. This guy is just a poor man's Jared from AWP. That's all he is.
And everything about it. They're the idiots. They're the ones who are, the drama hunters, the tragedy pimps and things like that.
See, look,
and I think
I love how he tried to
get
switch
a simple
that.
fact right.
And he was in my chat earlier trying to say, oh, well, no, I'm the tragedy pimp because I have links to PayPal and Cash App and things of that nature in my description. All creators have that. Almost all the creators have that. Almost every true crime creator has that. But what we don't do is spread misinformation. Now, he was in the chat talking about, give me one example where I actually stated something as fact that wasn't true. Well, that's the thing, is that's what people like you and Jared from AWP do. You don't actually outright say it because you fear litigation. You know that if you outright say the things that you're implying, you could be subject to a lawsuit. And that's why you don't outright say them. See, I'm onto your game, and my audience is intelligent enough to be onto your game as well. We get what you're doing. We see what you're doing. And you think that you're smarter than everybody else because you're like, show me where I actually said this. It doesn't matter if you actually said it. You have an audience of idiots that support you and count on you to create a narrative that is going to be dramatic, that is going to make the situation more traumatic. Hence the tragedy pimp title that you have earned so eloquently. It's Diggs, I totally agree with you. Right. I mean, and I get it. People are like, oh, well, I got the dirt on him. I don't care about dirt on this guy, dude. Like, I don't need the dirt on this guy. Like, all you have to do is just look at his thumbnails. You don't even have to really watch his videos. His thumbnails are clickbait, and they bait the type of people who want something to be more than it is because they want and thirst for something more dramatic than an accident. They thirst for it. They want it so bad. That is what makes a tragedy pimp. Let's give it to them. A creator who goes, okay, well, people want this. Let's give it to them. See, I won't do that. And the creators that I get along with and respect won't do that either. And I take pride in that.
Right. And it is that this case is not closed. The Kiely Rodni case is still an active investigation.
Okay. See, he keeps saying that word, active investigation. A lot of cases are still open because, and open being the key word, okay? Open being the key word. Open meaning that we're not going to do shit about it in this particular case anyway. Law enforcement's basically saying, we're done looking into it, but if something comes up that we may have missed for the sake of prosecution, for the sake of a court date that may or may not happen, Probably won't, but just in case it does, we don't want anything officially stating that the case is closed, because anything's possible. But the fact is, we've seen the evidence. Now, is that evidence to convict somebody? No, because the burden of proof is not on anybody's defense, because that video would be used in someone's defense if somebody were implicated and charged with Kiely's murder. That video would be used by their defense, and it's not on them. That video would simply be used as a way to create doubt in a juror, and I promise you that it will. I guarantee you that that video will create doubt in at least one juror, because that's all you have to do. Is it sinking in yet? You getting it yet? Because if it convinced entire communities on YouTube to doubt, not just doubt, but convince that that was Kiely's car going in the water, well, yeah, that's enough. That's enough for a prosecutor to go, to say, well, you know what? I mean, if the defense is going to use that, you know, I can't say that it's not going to sway a jury, so I'm not going to take the chance and prosecute. And that's just that. We haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes, as he likes to put it, the meat and potatoes of why there's no fucking way that a prosecutor would ever try to prosecute or indict anybody on this case.
Now that comes with a question over it, and we'll come to that in a second because that is important. But in my community feed, I have clearly stated and shown the emails between myself and Nevada Sheriff Department. We've spoken throughout this investigation, and they have only just the other day told me that this case is still under investigation. It was never closed. It was the medical examiners following the...
Okay, now it's true. This medical examiner situation, I'll get into that. But what he's saying is not untrue. But what he's doing with this, with this is misleading his audience. Okay, because first of all, this right here, greetings. You think that somebody is personally, do you really believe that somebody is personally sitting behind a computer and answering every email that comes to him from every jackass that won't let this case go? Do you think that that's what's going on? That somebody is sitting there and going, I'm going to look at this email and I'm going to look at that email and I'm going to look at that. No, that's not what they're doing. So there's a standard copy and paste response to all of this shit. And he's talking about it like I talked to somebody in the sheriff's department. I exchanged information. I exchanged correspondence. No, dude, this is the same shit that they send every asshole that fucking won't let this bullshit go. The sheriff's department is committed to keeping the integrity of this case by not releasing information while the case is still under investigation. That's an answer designed to get you to shut the fuck up and leave it alone. Also, good morning. Yes, we are aware of the video and statements made, and yes, this case is still under investigation. Yes, that means it's just open. It's just whatever. If something comes up, something turns out to be, that's it. Now, I'm not an attorney, but what I'm going to go over after this video will shed a little more light into what I'm talking about.
The autopsy and toxicology, they concluded in their part of the investigation that this was an accident, and that was based on the information that they had at the time, which would have been limited to them. They'd have had whatever was available to law enforcement at that time. And let's not forget that that was very, very early on in the discovery of Kiely's body. It wasn't later on down the track when a lot of disparities, that a lot of red flags came up. A lot of things were found to be, let's just say, eye-raising, eyebrow raising. And then we're here where we are now. Now, even an accident, that doesn't mean that an accident was not caused by someone or something. Doesn't mean that someone didn't have knowledge of what happened. And
That's exactly what an accident means. That's exactly what an accident means. You see what I'm talking about here? Because this guy's not fucking dumb, okay? Cuckchurch is fucking dumb. This guy's not dumb. He knows exactly what he's doing. But he's so full of himself and he's so focused on the narrative that he's trying to spin that he doesn't realize that he's not making any sense right here. But he thinks that by saying that an accident doesn't mean that somebody wasn't responsible and somebody isn't accountable. That's bullshit. That's exactly what an accident means. An accident means that there was no malicious intent. An accident means an accident, period. That's it. There was no crime. So therefore, it doesn't apply to a true crime channel, which is why true crime channels are not talking about this case anymore. Once it's deemed an accident, well, then there's nothing to talk about, is there? There was no malicious intent. There was no cover-up.
And decided to hide that because they felt that they may get in trouble if the truth be told.
See, that right there implies that there was some sort of conspiracy. That right there saying that somebody covered up this accident. But how? Okay, so let me get this straight. Okay, so if this was deemed an accident, right, by the medical examiner, okay, but the cover-up is the accident itself, because that's what that would imply. This guy's trying to say that somebody covered it up. So that means that somebody put her car in the water. That means that somebody maliciously with intent covered this up. That's a crime. That's a crime. Why wasn't anybody charged with that? Why was nobody charged with this?
So in terms of the Kiely Rodni case, it is, as far as law enforcement have told us, it is an active investigation. But now law enforcement could, and many people have pointed out, they could just be keeping this case open so it avoids any Freedom of Information Act requests that would mean that the public could do a dive into it and pull things apart.
Now what he's doing there is he's implying, because he's very careful with what he's trying to do. What he's doing here is he's implying that it could be that they're just calling it an open investigation, right? That they're implying that or he's saying that they're just saying that it's an open investigation so that people don't look into it and dig and try to find out things about it and look into the facts of the case. Well, here's the thing. He's trying to say that the reason for that is he's basically implying a cover-up. The same bullshit that Cuckchurch was trying to say, and the same bullshit that Zav Girl was trying to say, and every other bullshit channel that fucking was pimping this tragedy to no end. He's trying to sit here and act like, oh, well, there's a cover-up, and that's why, which gives us the leeway to be able to openly talk about this. And it justifies us being able to openly talk about this. But let's say that he's right about that. Let's say that they're calling it an open investigation so that people don't start picking apart all of the facts that have not been made public yet. Okay, but I would say that the reason for that is so that you leave her family and loved ones the fuck alone and let them mourn in peace, because they haven't been able to do that. They just started to. It was finally happening until Cuckchurch reemerged and started with his bullshit again. That was already happening. And then this guy just saw an opening and decided to, okay, well, Ryan Upchurch, even though he trash talked me, well, now I'm gonna discuss him and I'm gonna kiss his arse. Chasing Truth, welcome. The ruling was accidental with no foul play by coroner. The AWP video does nothing to make me feel it was more. Her mom seems to accept it was accidental. Her mom, everybody, her dad, SF investigates, everybody, her grandfather, everyone accepts this as an accident. You don't think that their family, if they had information that would even imply that there was foul play, you don't think that they would actually want justice for this 16-year-old girl who had her entire life ahead of her, a very, very bright future, brighter than the glare of my lighting? You don't think that that would be something that they would want? Everything that these people do is disrespectful to Kiely's loved ones, and they don't seem to care.
Now, what I will say to that is you can only do that for so long. And when you do that for so long in something that law enforcement have just deemed an accident, that in itself then makes that what they've said seem nefarious, because if it was indeed an accident and they are confident in that and there is nothing to worry about, there's nothing to see here, then why would you not just close the book on it, close the case? It's done. Look what you
Let's just get the facts straight, however, that law enforcement have never stated this was simply an accident. That's interesting. We're going to get into that too, because yes, they did, by the way. They absolutely did. But let's drink that in right there. Mr. I never have stated anything that was misinformation. Let's talk about that for a second. The Mad Catter, thank you so much. Tragedy Pimps probably think the family is in on the conspiracy, for fuck's sake. Yes, I've heard them do that. I have absolutely heard them do that.
If you can find something that we didn't, then kudos to you. But we've done what we can do, and we haven't found anything. So we're closing the books, and that hasn't been done. The Kiely Rodni case is still an active investigation in terms of what law enforcement have put out to the public. So for all these channels that are saying this case is closed, it's done, it was an accident, it was deemed an accident, and there's no one talking about it, no one needs to talk about it, it's done, you're fucking wrong.
No,
and if you're
not.
doing one of two things, and that is that you're either telling people the wrong thing, knowing that you're telling them it, or you're talking about something that you don't know fuck all about and putting that information onto people who have the right.
This is what these tragedy pimps always do. They project. He's sitting here talking about what he does and says that that's what we're doing, which we're not. I've never stated anything that was not verified by law enforcement or a reputable media source. I don't go by YouTubers. Never have I seen Ryan Upchurch share a news article. Never have I seen Ryan Upchurch share a police report. Never have I seen Ryan Upchurch share anything official. Nothing. He just goes by other YouTubers. That tells me all I need to know about how privy he is to any facts.
To know the truth. And these people trust these creators. They hang on to the words that you say. So when you tell them that a case is closed, it's done, it's finished with, they believe you. They trust you.
You know why? Actually, I'll explain.
And you've just told however many people have listened to you, trusted you, donated to you,
right?
Whatever. You've lied to them.
No.
whether that
You've lied to them. You lied to them. Zav Girl lied to them. Ryan Upchurch lied repeatedly to them.
be knowingly or unknowingly, but you have given them information that is not correct.
Okay.
So rather than try to tell Ryan that he is wrong when he is not, how about you now do another video that states to everybody that you was indeed wrong?
How about I
'Cause
do
you
this
were.
video instead?
And the Kiely Rodni case is not closed. It's still an active investigation. And again, and I'll leave you with this. Ask yourself why would
now
a
the sweet music as he closes after he tugged at our heartstrings with the Kraken Kid videos. I forgot his name already, sorry. After he's opened with that, now he's closing with the dramatic music.
A straightforward accident with no nefarious things around it at all. Just a done deal, done, as you put it. It's all done, finished. Why would it still be open?
Why would it still
wouldn't
be
the
open?
book be closed on it?
I just explained. All right, shut the fuck up. Chasing says the sheriff's office said it would work with the family to evaluate any other information. It asked the news media and public to respect the family's privacy. Yes. Thank you very much. Now, let's get into this real quick. I'm going to leave that up. Let me here's the link to what I'm about to go over, folks. Okay. All right. Now, this is Nevada County Sheriff's Office. Shannon Moon being the sheriff / coroner, public administrator. Okay. This is the official. And I'm going to read as much of this as I can. The stuff that's relevant. Obviously, this has all Kiely's personal information. The place of death located in a 2013 Honda CRV, Cali plates. The vehicle was near GPS coordinates. Organ tissue donor unknown, contagious disease unknown, blah, 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 blah. Marks or scars or tattoos, none observed. Now it says Lindsay Rodney Neiman and Daniel Rodney were contacted at California Highway Patrol's Truckee office at 21:45 hours on August 21st, 2022, and notified there was a descendant located in the vehicle registered to Kiely Rodni. Positive identification was not able to be made at that time based on circumstantial evidence. The descendant was believed to be Kiely Rodni. They were advised of the pending pathologist report for confirmation of identity and cause of death. Investigation states I was called to respond to Prosser Creek Reservoir to a peninsula southwest of Prosser Family Reservoir or campground. I was advised a female descendant was located within the cargo space of the vehicle Kiely Rodni was reported to have been driving. I responded to the location to handle the coroner's case. Before I continue that, a lot of people are like, well, why was she found in the back? I get all these fucking inbred redneck idiots fucking in my comment section who can't even spell. And they're like, well, why was her car found in the back? You stupid motherfucker. Ryan Upchurch schooled you. He schooled you. Why was her body found in the back? And I will go over this at my trusty in order to discuss this and explain to the goat fuckers one more time. This is my trusty little model that I use, my hand sanitizer, to explain why her body was found in the back. Now, a car, as Ryan Upchurch knows, okay, the heaviest part of the car would be the front. Why? Because the heaviest part of the car is the engine. Okay. Now, when this car goes front first into a body of water and it sinks, well, it's going to do this. And as you can see the water there? Okay. It's actually hand sanitizer. I know that. Please, you know, I know don't accuse me of altering anything here. This right here, okay, this is going to leave a pocket of air all here. And as this water fills up in the front of the car, she's going to do everything that she can to survive and get to that back hatch, because the rest of the car is filling up with water. So the force of the water filling up is probably going to make it difficult for her to be able to get through the window that's open, and it's going to make it difficult for her to get the doors open. But since there's an air pocket here, she's hoping to be able to open the back hatch and get out. Unfortunately, she was unable to do that from the inside for whatever reason, and she was just grasping for that last bit of air in the back part of the car. Period. That is a perfectly reasonable explanation as to why she was found in the car. And other people who do what AWP claims to do, other people who actually find missing people in bodies of water and in cars that are submerged in water, they say that 90% of the cars that they find, of missing people that they find in cars and bodies of water, their bodies are found in the back for this very reason. Because it's a perfectly logical explanation. Okay, so that's why her body was found in the back of the car. It goes on to say here, I arrived on scene at approximately 1900 hours, and FBI agents, FBI crime scene technicians, Placer County Sheriff's Office deputies, California Highway Patrol officers, Truckee Police Department officers, and detectives from Nevada County Sheriff's Office were all near a tow truck. Okay, look at all these different law enforcement agencies that had people on scene. Truckee Police Department officers and detectives from Nevada County Sheriff's Office were all near a tow truck. I spoke to Detective Sonier, who advised me that law enforcement divers had hooked the tow truck's winch to a vehicle under the water and were assisting with recovering the vehicle. I waited until the vehicle was removed from the water and I was given permission to begin my investigation. Her body position. There was a white female descendant located in the rear cargo compartment of the silver 2013 Honda CR-V. The right leg of the descendant was against the pillar of the back seat and resting near the headrest. The remainder of the descent was behind the seats and not visible from outside the vehicle. FBI agents and technicians donned Tyvek suits and protective gear and entered into the vehicle. The body was removed under my supervision by FBI agents and FBI crime scene technicians. The body was placed into a large black vinyl body bag, visually inspected, and the bag was sealed. No items were removed from the descendant's person, and the remains were later transported by Truckee Tahoe Mortuary directly to the Placer County morgue. And this bugs me because I hate that I have to sit here and read this morbid shit about a 16-year-old kid just to prove idiots wrong so that I can hopefully shut them down and quit harassing this family with their bullshit content. The body showed obvious signs of bloating, lividity, and decomposition. There was skin sloughing, and no positive identification could be made due to the decomposition present on the face. Detective Sonier told me the descendant was going to be transported directly to the Placer County morgue and scheduled for examination on Tuesday. No mortuary photographs were taken by this investigator. I was advised by Detective Sonier that he believed that the descendant was Kiely Rodni, based on his investigation. I did not obtain any additional statements related to this case while I was on the scene. Truckee Tahoe Mortuary funeral counselor Elisa Babick arrived on scene and transported the descendants' remains to Placer County's morgue facility at approximately 21:20 hours on 8/21/2022. No items of property were removed from the descendant. Any items taken from the scene will be noted in supplemental reports by the investigators. I was told the silver 2013 Honda CR-V was going to be towed by the FBI and taken to their facility in Sacramento for additional processing. I was advised the vehicle will be returned to the Truckee, California Highway Patrol office for their vehicle accident investigation team to perform their investigation. This case is pending the forensic pathologist's findings for investigation and cause of death. Forward to the chief coroner, Sergeant Clickenbeard, for photographs of the scene and the descendant, refer to Detective Sonier's supplemental report. Okay, now this is the supplemental report. On August 23rd, 2022, at approximately 10:20 hours, I received a phone call from Captain Sam Brown. Captain Brown told me that the descendant in the case had been positively identified as Kiely Rodni. After I spoke to Captain Brown, I called the descendant's parents, Daniel Rodni, to Lindsay Rodney Neiman. I offered to meet with Daniel and Lindsay, and they both told me to update them on the phone. I told Daniel and Lindsay the descendant had been positively identified as Kiely Rodni. On the above date and time, I attended, this is from another detective, I attended the autopsy for Kiely Rodni at the Placer County Morgue in Roseville. At the completion of the autopsy, I collected the following items of jewelry removed from the descendant. Miscellaneous jewelry, bracelets from right wrists, necklaces, rings. The items were transported to the sheriff's property unit and booked. Now, this is Clickenbeard's report. This report was forwarded to the coroner division by Deputy Mackey with the patrol division on August 23rd, 2022. Placer County forensics pathologist Dr. Gregory Reiber, medical doctor, performed an autopsy on the remains of Kiely Mae Rodni. Positive identification of the descendant had been made by Detective Josephine Strachan during the autopsy. Detective Strachan was present during the autopsy and documented her observations and the method of identification in a supplemental report to the original missing persons report. I have recently reviewed the pathologist's final report of autopsy, which listed the cause of death in the case of drowning. There was no other significant contributing conditions listed. I conferred with Detective Sonier, and he told me that there's no indication of foul play regarding the criminal investigation into the death of Kiely. The manner of death in this case has been determined to be accidental. Case disposition closed. Closed. Says so right there. Closed. Accident. Okay? Now, this dude got emails from some spokesperson in the sheriff's department, right? That it's still an open investigation. That's an email that he got from God knows who, right? Why isn't Ryan? Let's get Ryan Upchurch to challenge that email, because he asked me when he was on this channel to produce documentation from the sheriff's department, which I am doing right now. I just couldn't get it at the time. People were like, oh, well, you're not a true crime investigator because you didn't have everything on hand. I didn't know this dickhead was going to show up in my chat. So out of fairness and out of just being fair and courteous, I invited him on panel due to all the shit that I have said about him. So I gave him the opportunity to be able to confront me directly. That is what I do. I'm fair that way. So at that moment, he was sitting there, oh, well, show me this, show me that. But I'm not the one stating that there was a crime that took place here. You're the one stating that a crime took place. So the burden of proof is on you, dude. You produce the fucking evidence that shows me that a crime took place. I don't need to show you that a crime didn't take place. That's not how the justice system works. You need to show me that a crime did take place. And still, he hasn't produced any type of evidence of any kind ever. So he was just basically on my panel acting like a 10-year-old child and shutting down. And when I asked him why he was even talking about this case, he was just like, something to do. I asked him, did he actually believe the shit that he was saying? Not really. I was like, well, don't you think you should apologize to the people you made false accusations about? Nah, I ain't apologizing to nobody. I mean, he just sat here and brooded like a baby. Like, I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say or do. Because I was like, this is a grown man who's capable of being completely and totally self-made as a musician, self-established, which is a respectable thing. It's extremely respectable. But here he was acting like a child, talking about real people whose lives have been horribly affected by a horrible tragedy, and he thinks it's a game and treats it like it's a game. And if I mean, dude, I don't have people like I talk about people here. I don't have people that you should see the DMs I get, dude. Like, it's amazing. The DMs that I get are incredible. All you have to do really is just read the comments in my last live just to get an idea of what kind of people these people are. Like, it's all you have to do. But that's not even the crazy DMs that I get from these fucking wackos. They're nuts. And then when I told him, when I confronted him about that, and I asked him, I was like, well, don't you think that that's irresponsible to use your platform when you have so many people who do this? He's like, show me where they've done that. Well, they hadn't done that until yesterday. But he's like, show me where they've done that to these people that I accused or whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm sure they have. They just chose not to engage. And he's like, well, they never sued me. That's his response. Like, so you're justifying your actions. Basically, what you're saying here is it's totally fair game to do shit that you could get sued for until you get sued. I mean, that's your mentality. It was unbelievable. Ellie Mo, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Ellie May, sorry. Thank you. So yes, this thing right here just said it was accidental. And it says it's closed. The case disposition closed. This is official. This is from the official Nevada County Sheriff's Department, an official statement. The case is fucking closed. Period. Done. Just because this dude has fucking a couple of fucking bullshit copy and pasted emails, it doesn't mean shit. And like I said, and I'm going to post it one more time, this is not my private email, people. This is the official website of the Nevada County Sheriff's Department. And there's the link to it. You can look at it yourself. You can click on it and look at it yourself. I didn't make this up. I didn't doctor this. Ellie Mae, welcome to Logic. Appreciate you. Now, I want to get in because I don't think I've ever actually gone over the details of this. So this is what was found. Now, I don't know how to really explain this. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm just going to speculate on it because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical examiner. I don't really understand this stuff. I'm being honest with you, but ethanol, 100 grams, I guess. I don't know what ethanol is. I mean, this is, I honestly don't know what this means. So alcohol. Okay. So people are saying that she wasn't drunk all of Ryan's people keep DMing me and they keep leaving comments saying that she wasn't drunk. But there's clearly alcohol in her bloodstream here. It was found in her liver. Now I don't know how to look at this and say whether or not how much she was above the alcohol limit, or if she was at all the legal limit. I don't know by how much. I don't know how to read this and translate it. But I guarantee you that the people leaving the comments that have been leaving, they don't know either. And so, so ethanol can come from decomposition as well. Okay, that's fair. But that doesn't mean that she was not drunk. And she obviously had weed in her system. I mean, everybody in Northern California has weed in their system. So it's found in her liver tissue. And the alcohol is a central nervous system depressant and can cause effects such as impaired judgment, reduced alertness, and impaired muscular coordination. Ethanol can also be a product of decomposition or degradation of biological samples. And see, this is what they're using. Like, this is, they take that and they pick this apart without having any idea how to even translate it. They pick this shit apart and they're just like, oh, see, this doesn't prove anything. But these people's argument is constantly, well, you know, there's no evidence that she drowned, blah, 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 blah. There's none of this shit, but yet there's no manner of death that indicates foul play at all. The only thing that makes sense, I mean, what did they do? They put their hand over her nose and mouth to make it look like an accident? Is that really something that your mind would go to? No. Like, if somebody killed her, they would see some evidence of it. If she was strangled, if she was beaten to death, if she was shot, if she was stabbed, there would be indications of this. But there wasn't. See, I don't know what any of this stuff means. So I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to read what it says here. Analysis by gas chromatography, mass spectrometry. The following is a general list of analyte classes included in the gas chromatrophic. I don't even know that word. The detection of any specific analyte is concentration dependent. Note, not all known analytes included in each specified class are included. Some specific analytes outside these classes are also included. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what any of that means. But I'm trying to find something very specific. Okay. Right here, it says the undersigned having made an examination, find the cause of death to be drowning. Okay. They find the cause of death to be drowning. It says so right there. Let me full screen that so you can see it. The cause of death was drowning. There it is. An official statement from the coroner, from the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. What is there to not understand here? Ridiculous, man. All right, and here's all her clothing. We don't need to go over that. And then there's the external examination. Just for the sake of respecting her, I'm not going to go over all of this. There's no need. She was found with all her clothes on. You know, Now here, the external evidence of let's see. Internal examination. Open incision in body cavities, the standard. Y-shaped thorac abdominal incision reveals a subcut I don't know, fat thickness, blah blah blah. The pleural perigradil. I could have never been a fucking doctor, Jesus Christ, or even a nurse. No excess fluid or blood found in the body's cavities. The internal organs are normally arranged. The anterior soft tissues of the neck show discoloration from decomposition and marked softening. There are no apparent strap muscle hemorrhages. The hyoid and laryngeal cartilages show no fractures. The cervical spine is grossly intact. The heart weighs 90 Gs and appears normally formed. Blah blah blah. Fat distribution. Now this is what I wanted to see. All right. So what people are trying to say here is that there was no water found in her lungs. Okay. They're trying to say that there is no water found in her lungs, right? Now I'm going to look into something here. I'm going to read this first. The right lung weighs 100 grams and the left lung weighs 110. The pleural surfaces are smooth and the lungs are light maroon to gray tan. No anthorosidic markings are seen. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't know this medical terminology. The lung parenchyma is moderately decomposed, soft, and maroon in color. There are no apparent focal blah 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 lesions. I don't know that word. Prominent tissue gas formation distorts the architecture of both lungs. The larynx, trachea, and bronchi are patent and normally formed. Airway surfaces are smooth, light gray tan. There is no apparent airway obstruction. So that's what they're trying to say, is there's no apparent airway obstruction. And so they're saying that this contradicts itself because, how did she drown and there was no airway obstruction? Well, let me look something up here. Let me look something up here. Okay, so this is from Unity Point Living Well. This says dispelling myths about dry drowning. Nothing sounds better. Blah 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 blah. Drowning is the process of experiencing respiratory problems from submersion or immersion in water. In other words, to have a drowning event, the child has to go underwater. You do not drown by just swallowing water or playing in it. Now, dry drowning is not an actual medical condition. It is a term that has been used and sensationalized by the media to describe when lungs of drowning victims contain no water in about 10 to 20% of autopsies. The reason for this is because of the laryngoscopasm, which that word is in there, which is when the body forcefully closes the airways. This can happen when water is attempting to enter the lungs. Okay, so basically what this says is drowning technically does not mean, okay, and I want to be clear about this because I'm going to wrap that up right there. Drowning just means that you died by not breathing and being submerged in water. It does not necessarily mean that water filled up your lungs and it killed you. That is not what drowning technically means. So what this article is implying, what this Dr. Groen says, yeah, sorry, that's his name, Groen, okay? What he's saying here is that, or she is saying, is that the lungs closed up. It had a natural instinct to close up, to keep water out. So in the body's natural effort and instinct for survival to not have water enter to not have water fill them up, they closed up. The pathways closed up so that water would not fill up the lungs. So it's absolutely possible that she drowned. It's even likely she drowned simply because she was trying to keep water from entering her lungs, period. So to sit here and be like, oh, well, it's foul play because there was no water in her lungs when the autopsy was performed, it means dick all, dude. It means nothing. There's plenty of explanation. So basically it boils down to, if you're not a fucking doctor or you're not a medical examiner, you have no business sitting here and drawing these conclusions as to how this 16-year-old kid died and what's considered foul play and what isn't considered foul play. None of you people are investigators. None of you people are medical examiners. None of you people are anybody qualified to draw any conclusions that would indicate that this was foul play. The professionals that were tasked with the responsibility of finding out what happened to Kiely Rodni actually did their jobs and did a very thorough job. And so at this point, yes, this case is closed. You saw it right here in this article that I'm posting in chat again, just in case you missed it. Bookmark it in your computers. Read it for yourselves when this is over. Click on it. Read it. Okay? No, I'm done talking about Ryan Upchurch's bullshit as far as the Kiely Rodni case goes. Now, if he starts talking about another case, yeah. But luckily he hasn't been. So I love that. And that's so predictable too, because as soon as that I prove and shut down their idiotic arguments, then it's, oh, I thought you weren't going to talk about this anymore. Like, no. First of all, if I want to change my mind, I reserve the right to change my fucking mind. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. You kiss my ass. So, but in this case, okay, the fact of the matter is, and this is really just this isn't even for Ryan. This is for this asshole that decided to fucking crawl up Ryan's ass and make this video, and try to make nice with him so that they could buddy up and he can leech off of his subscribers. That's all he was trying to do. But you failed, dude. So the video that you expected me to do to say that I was wrong, This is the video saying that you're wrong. This is the video proving you wrong. Fucking idiot. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I love you guys very much. Harsh reality. You can kiss my Dominican dick. You suck. I love you. We'll do this again very soon, my friends.